Victoria Sterling grabbed the folder from Marcus Thompson's hands and threw it across the marble floor. "Get this homeless trash out of my gala before he steals something." Papers scattered everywhere. Death certificates, stock documents, a wedding photo. Marcus dropped to his knees, gathering the pieces of his dead wife's memory, while 200 people watched. Some laughed, most recorded. Victoria crumpled a $500 bill, threw it at his face. "There's your welfare check. Now crawl back to whatever shelter you came from." What Victoria didn't know: the man on his knees owned 91% of her company. What happened next would destroy her entire world. Comment your city below so I can see how far this story travels. The $500 bill hit Marcus Thompson's cheek and bounced onto the cold marble floor. He didn't pick it up. He stayed on his knees, hands trembling, gathering scattered papers, while Victoria Sterling towered over him like a Roman emperor watching a gladiator bleed. "Daddy?" His daughter? Maya's voice cut through the noise. 8 years old, pink dress Sarah had bought her last Christmas. Eyes wide with terror. "Stay back, sweetheart." Marcus kept his voice steady. "Barely." Victoria turned to the crowd. 200 people in designer gowns and $1,000 suits. Champagne glasses frozen mid-sip. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when security gets lazy." She gestured at Marcus like he was an exhibit. Random homeless men walking in off the street claiming to own billion-dollar companies. Laughter rippled through the crowd. Marcus found his wife's photo face down on the marble. Sarah's smile. Their wedding day. He picked it up carefully, brushed off dust that wasn't there. "Sir, you need to leave." A security guard approached. Young white kid, maybe 25. Name tag said Eric. He looked uncomfortable. "I have every right to be here." Marcus stood slowly. His knees ached. 42 years old, and his body already betraying him. "He has no rights." Victoria's heels clicked closer. Louboutins, red soles. Sarah used to joke about women who wore shoes that cost more than some people's rent. "Ma'am, I'm Marcus Thompson. You're nothing." Victoria cut him off. "Security, I want this man arrested for trespassing. And someone call child services. Clearly this child is being neglected." Maya started crying. Something cracked inside Marcus's chest. "Don't you dare talk about my daughter." The words came out harder than he intended. Victoria's eyes widened, then narrowed. "Excuse me." "I said, don't talk about my daughter." Victoria smiled, cold, calculated. "Or what, you'll sue me." She laughed. "With what money? The change in your pocket." She turned to her executive team. 5 men in matching black tuxedos, all white, all smirking. "Gerald, get this man's picture. Make sure he's banned from every property in the city. I don't want him within 100 feet of any Titan Technologies building." Gerald Thompson pulled out his phone, started recording. "Ma'am, I really need to explain." "The only thing you need to explain is how you got past security." Victoria signaled to Eric. "Check his pockets. Probably stole someone's invitation." Eric stepped forward. "Sir, I'm going to need to—" "Don't touch me." Marcus's voice echoed through the lobby. Conversations stopped. Every eye turned. "I said don't touch me." Quieter now, but somehow more dangerous. Victoria laughed. "Now he's resisting. Perfect." Eric called the police. "Tell them we have a violent trespasser threatening our guests." "I haven't threatened anyone." "You just refused a security check. That's suspicious behavior." Victoria pulled out her own phone. "Actually, I'll call them myself. I want this on record." She dialed, waited. "Yes, this is Victoria Sterling, CEO of Titan Technologies. I'm at the Grand Meridian Hotel for our annual gala. We have an intruder." Marcus watched her lie with a straight face. Black male, approximately 40 years old, wearing a cheap blue suit, has a young girl with him, acting erratically, possibly mentally disturbed. Maya tugged Marcus's sleeve. "Daddy, I'm scared." He knelt down, pulled her close. "It's okay, baby. Everything's going to be okay." Such a touching scene. Victoria ended her call. "Police are on their way. 10 minutes." She addressed the crowd again, voice carrying. "I apologize for this disruption. Please enjoy your evening. The dinner service will begin shortly. This unfortunate situation will be handled." The crowd began dispersing. Some reluctantly, most relieved to escape the awkwardness. But phones stayed out. Recording. Someone had started a live stream. The view count climbed. 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. Marcus didn't notice. He was too busy holding his daughter. "Daddy, why is that lady being so mean?" "Some people are just mean, sweetheart." "But why?" Marcus looked at Victoria, at her diamonds, her perfect hair, her absolute certainty that she was better than him. "Because they're scared." "Scared of what?" "People like us." Victoria overheard. Her smile vanished. "Scared of you." She stepped closer, close enough that Marcus could smell her perfume. Expensive. Suffocating. "Let me tell you something, whoever you are. I'm not scared of anything, especially not some street rat who wandered in here with a sob story. My name is Marcus Thompson." "I don't care what your name is." "You should." Victoria's eyes flickered. Something shifted, just for a second. Then she laughed. Loud. Fake. "Gerald, you're recording this, right? I want everyone to see how delusional this man is." Gerald nodded, phone steady. "Marcus Thompson." Victoria said the name mockingly. "Let me guess. You're going to tell me you're secretly a billionaire, that you own this company, that I work for you." Marcus said nothing. "That's what I thought." Victoria crossed her arms. "Because here's the reality, Mr. Thompson. You're nobody. You have nothing. You are nothing. The sooner you accept that, the easier your pathetic little life will be." Maya pulled on Marcus's sleeve again. "Daddy, tell her about Mommy." Victoria's eyebrow raised. "Mommy." "My wife." "Oh, this should be good." Victoria sat on the arm of a lobby chair, legs crossed, perfectly casual. "Tell me about your wife. Is she waiting outside in your shopping cart?" Marcus reached into his jacket pocket, pulled out a worn photograph. Sarah, laughing at something off camera, hair blowing in the wind. The day they bought the house, before Maya, before everything. Her name was Sarah. She died 6 months ago. Something changed in the crowd. Whispers. Uncomfortable shifting. Victoria didn't miss a beat. Aw sound. "How tragic. And let me guess, she left you billions of dollars. You're secretly the heir to some vast fortune." Marcus looked at the photo, at Sarah's smile, at everything he'd lost. "She left me everything that mattered." "Which is nothing." Victoria stood. "Because you have nothing. You are nothing. Your dead wife was nothing. And your daughter will grow up to be nothing just like you." The lobby went silent. Absolute silence. Even Gerald stopped recording for a second. Marcus felt something shift inside him. Something cold. Something ancient. The same thing that made him survive 3 tours in Afghanistan. The same thing that made him rebuild his life after Sarah died. The same thing that made him dangerous. "Apologize." His voice was different now. Quieter. Harder. "Excuse me. Apologize. To my daughter. Now." Victoria laughed. But it was uncertain. Off balance. "Or what? Or you're going to regret every word you've said tonight." "Threats now." Victoria looked around seeking validation. "Everyone heard that. He just threatened me." "That wasn't a threat." Marcus picked up Maya, held her close. "That was a promise." Victoria stepped back. First time all night. "Security." Eric approached slowly. "Ma'am, this man just threatened me. Restrain him until police arrive." Eric looked at Marcus, at the little girl in his arms, at the tears on her face. "Ma'am, I really don't think. I don't pay you to think." Victoria's composure cracked. "Do your job, or you're fired." Eric's face went pale. He had kids, needed this job. He reached for Marcus's arm. "Sir, please. Take your hand off me." Marcus's voice cut through everything. Every sound in the lobby died. "Sir, you have to nothing." Marcus turned to face Eric directly. "I've served 3 tours in Afghanistan. I've watched better men than you die in places you can't pronounce. I've held my wife's hand while she took her last breath. You think I'm scared of security guards and police?" Eric stepped back. "You work for a woman who just insulted my dead wife in front of my daughter, who threw money in my face, who called me homeless, a thief, nothing." Marcus's voice was perfectly controlled. "And you want to put your hands on me?" Eric looked at Victoria, back at Marcus. "Ma'am, I can't." "You're fired!" Victoria screamed it, actually screamed. "You're all fired. Every single security guard in this building is fired." The crowd murmured. This was going too far. Victoria sensed it, tried to recover. "Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize again. This man is clearly disturbed. Please." "I'm not disturbed." Marcus set Maya down, held her hand. "I'm not homeless. I'm not a thief. I'm not mentally ill." He looked directly at Victoria. "And I'm not nobody." "Then who are you?" Victoria's voice cracked. "Some magical billionaire, some secret prince." "Tell me, Mr. Thompson, who exactly do you think you are?" Marcus reached down, picked up the scattered papers. The ones Victoria had thrown. The ones she'd stepped on with her $1,000 shoes. He held them up. "These are stock certificates, 91% of Titan Technologies." His voice carried through the lobby. "These are death certificates for Sarah Thompson, founder and former CEO of this company, my wife." Victoria's face went white. "These are transfer documents, notarized, court-stamped. Everything Sarah owned transferred to me when she died." The lobby was silent. "And this?" Marcus held up his wedding ring. Simple gold band, worn, scratched. "This is what your CEO gave me 20 years ago when she promised to love me forever." Victoria stumbled backward. Actually stumbled. That's not possible." "It's not just possible." A new voice, strong, female, cutting through the shock. Diana Wells walked out of the crowd. 55 years old, African American, gray suit, Harvard Law pin on her lapel. It's legally documented, authenticated, and about to become the most expensive mistake of your career. Victoria looked around wildly. "Who the hell are you?" "Diana Wells, partner at Wells & Chen, legal counsel for the Thompson estate." She handed Victoria a business card. "And as of tonight, the attorney who's going to make sure you never work in this industry again." "This is ridiculous. This is some kind of scam." "A scam." Diana stepped closer. "Let's talk about scams, Ms. Sterling. Let's talk about the $23 million you've embezzled from Titan Technologies since Sarah Thompson died." The crowd gasped. "Let's talk about the shell companies, the offshore accounts, the forged contracts, all documented, all traced, all currently in the FBI's possession." Victoria's mouth opened, closed, opened again. No words came out. "Let's talk about why you were so eager to become CEO after Sarah's death. Why you pushed the board to appoint you before the investigation could be completed. Why you've been so desperate to keep Marcus Thompson away from anything related to this company." Diana pulled out a folder. Thick, heavy. "Sarah Thompson knew. She was investigating you. She had a meeting with federal prosecutors scheduled for the week after her accident." "Accident." Victoria's voice was barely a whisper. "That's what we'll call it. For now. Diana's voice went cold. Pending further investigation. The color drained from Victoria's face. You can't prove anything. I don't have to prove anything tonight. Diana smiled. Not friendly. The FBI will handle that. My job is just to make sure you don't leave this building until they arrive. Sirens. Distant but getting closer. Victoria looked at the doors. At the security guards who wouldn't meet her eyes. At the crowd that had transformed from supporters to witnesses. This isn't. It's over, Victoria. Marcus spoke quietly. Sarah trusted you. I trusted you. And you stole from us. From our company. From our daughter's future. He held up the wedding photo, the one Victoria had thrown on the ground. Sarah worked 70-hour weeks building this company. She missed Maya's first steps because she was closing a deal. She missed our 10th anniversary because she was opening an office in Tokyo. She gave everything to Titan Technologies. His voice cracked. But he kept going. And you stole from it. While I was planning her funeral. While Maya was asking where Mommy went. While we were trying to figure out how to live without her. Victoria sank onto a lobby chair. No composure left. No power. Just a woman watching her world collapse. I never meant. Save it for the FBI. The lobby doors opened. 2 officers entered, followed by 2 more, followed by 2 agents in suits. FBI badges visible. Agent Rodriguez approached. Hispanic woman, 50s, face like granite. Victoria Sterling. Victoria looked up, eyes wet. Yes. You're under arrest for embezzlement, wire fraud, money laundering, and conspiracy to commit securities fraud. Rodriguez pulled out handcuffs. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Victoria didn't resist, didn't fight. She just sat there as the handcuffs clicked around her wrists, as she was lifted to her feet, as she was walked toward the doors. At the last moment she turned, looked at Marcus. I'm sorry. Marcus said nothing. I didn't know. About you and Sarah. I never. You knew enough. His voice was empty. You knew what you were doing was wrong, you just didn't care. Victoria was led away. The lobby erupted. Questions, cameras, chaos. Diana stepped in front of Marcus and Maya, shield mode. No questions tonight. Mr. Thompson will release a statement tomorrow. She guided them toward the elevators, away from the noise, the lights, the aftermath. Maya held Marcus's hand tight. Daddy, yes, sweetheart. Is that lady going to jail? Marcus looked back. Victoria's blonde hair disappearing through the doors, handcuffs glinting in the light. Yes, baby. She's going to jail. Good. Maya's voice was small, but certain. She was mean about Mommy. Marcus squeezed her hand. Yes, she was. The elevator doors closed. Silence. Finally. Marcus leaned against the wall, closed his eyes. Diana touched his shoulder. You did good. I didn't do anything. She destroyed herself. You stood your ground. That's everything. The elevator rose, away from the lobby, away from the cameras, away from everything that had just happened. Marcus looked at Maya, at Sarah's eyes looking back at him. Daddy, are you okay? He wasn't okay. Wouldn't be okay for a long time, but he nodded anyway. I'm okay, sweetheart. We're going to be okay. The elevator stopped. Doors opened. The gala ballroom stretched ahead. 500 people. Dinner being served. Laughter and music. They had no idea what had just happened downstairs. Diana straightened her jacket. Ready? Marcus looked at Maya, at the pink dress Sarah bought, at the face that reminded him every day what he was living for. No. Good answer. Diana almost smiled. Let's go anyway. They walked into the ballroom together. Father, daughter, attorney. Behind them, the video was already spreading. Already viral. Already changing everything. But Marcus didn't know that yet. All he knew was that his daughter was holding his hand. And for the first time in 6 months, he felt something other than grief. He felt powerful. The ballroom doors closed behind them, and Marcus felt 500 pairs of eyes turn in his direction. Diana leaned close. Word travels fast. Half of them are checking their phones right now. Marcus looked across the room. She was right. Guests huddled in small groups, screens glowing, whispers spreading like wildfire. Some pointed. Others stared openly. "Daddy, why is everyone looking at us?" Marcus squeezed Maya's hand. "Because they're curious, sweetheart." "About what?" "About who we are." A man approached. 60s, silver hair, expensive watch. Marcus recognized him from board meeting photos Sarah used to bring home. "Mr. Thompson." The man extended his hand. "I'm Richard Coleman, board member." Marcus didn't take the hand. "I know who you are." Richard's smile faltered. I had no idea. About Victoria. About any of it. You appointed her CEO. The board voted. We thought. You thought wrong. Richard's hand dropped. He stepped back, face flushed. Diana intervened. "Mr. Coleman, we'll schedule a board meeting for tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Attendance is mandatory." "Of course, absolutely. Whatever Mr. Thompson needs." He retreated into the crowd. Marcus watched him go. They'll all claim they didn't know. Some of them might be telling the truth. And the ones who aren't? Diana's eyes hardened. "We'll find them." A woman in a red gown approached. Dr. Patricia Morrison. Marcus recognized her from Sarah's funeral. She'd given the eulogy. Cried real tears. "Marcus," her voice cracked. "I'm so sorry. I should have known. I should have protected you both." Marcus looked at her. Really looked. Saw the guilt written across her face. "Did you know about the money?" "No, I swear to God, no." Patricia's hands trembled. "But I should have asked more questions. When Victoria pushed for the CEO vote so quickly, when she blocked every attempt to contact you, I should have pushed back." "Why didn't you?" Patricia looked down. "Because I was tired. Sarah's death broke something in all of us. Victoria seemed to have answers, seemed to have a plan. It was easier to let her take charge." Marcus said nothing. "That's not an excuse. I know it's not. But it's the truth." Maya tugged Marcus's sleeve. "Daddy, I'm hungry." Marcus looked at his daughter. At the exhaustion on her face. At the pink dress that was starting to wrinkle. "Diana, can you take her to get something to eat?" "Of course." Diana held out her hand. "Come on, Maya, let's find some of those fancy appetizers." Maya hesitated, looked at Marcus. "It's okay, sweetheart. I'll be right here." Diana led Maya toward the buffet. Marcus watched them go. Patricia spoke quietly. "She looks just like Sarah." "I know." "Same eyes, same stubborn chin." "I know." Patricia touched his arm, gently. "Sarah would be proud of you. What you did down there, standing up to Victoria." Marcus pulled away. "I didn't stand up. I got on my knees and picked up papers while she threw money in my face." "And then you got back up. That's what matters." Marcus looked at the crowd. At the phones still recording. At the faces trying to figure out who he was. "Tell me about Victoria." "What do you mean?" "Before Sarah died. What was she like?" Patricia's face darkened. "Ambitious, brilliant, ruthless. Sarah hired her 7 years ago. She was hungry in a way that impressed everyone. And then, she got comfortable, started cutting corners, started caring more about numbers than people." Patricia paused. Sarah noticed, about a year ago, started asking questions. What kind of questions? About the quarterly reports, about contracts that didn't add up, about money that seemed to disappear between departments. Marcus felt cold. Sarah never told me. She didn't want to worry you, said she'd handle it, said it was probably nothing. But it wasn't nothing. No. Patricia's voice dropped. It wasn't. Marcus turned to face her fully. The week before Sarah died, what happened? Patricia's face went pale. Marcus, I don't know if... What happened? Silence. The ballroom noise faded. Just two people and a terrible truth hanging between them. Sarah called an emergency board meeting. Just her, me, and the legal team. She had documents, evidence, months of investigation. Against Victoria? 23 million in fraudulent transactions, shell companies, forged contracts. Everything traced back to Victoria's authorization codes. Marcus's hands clenched. And then Sarah died. Patricia's eyes filled with tears. The meeting was scheduled for Monday. Her accident was Saturday night. The word hung in the air. Accident. Marcus, I'm not saying... But you're thinking it. Patricia said nothing. Did you tell the police? I tried. They said there was no evidence of foul play. Car crash on a wet road. Tragic accident. Case closed. And Victoria became CEO a week later. The board voted before Sarah was even buried. Victoria pushed for it. Said the company needed stability. Said shareholders were panicking. Marcus looked across the room. Diana was helping Maya choose between tiny sandwiches. His daughter laughed at something Diana said. Sarah's investigation. Where is it now? Victoria claimed she couldn't find it. Said Sarah must have kept it at home. She didn't. I know. I helped her organize it. Everything was in her office, which Victoria cleaned out the day after becoming CEO. Patricia nodded slowly. I didn't think anything of it at the time. I thought she was just being efficient. She was destroying evidence. I know that now. Marcus turned away, looked at the glittering chandelier, at the champagne glasses, at the wealth surrounding him. Sarah built all of this, every dollar, every deal, every handshake, and Victoria had stolen it, piece by piece, while Marcus buried his wife and tried to explain death to an 8-year-old. Mr. Thompson. A young man approached, early 30s, black, nervous energy. Who are you? James Wright. I worked in accounting, under Victoria. Marcus studied him. Worked. She fired me 3 months ago. Said I was asking too many questions. Patricia stepped back. James, maybe this isn't the time. It's exactly the time. James pulled out his phone. I kept copies. Everything Victoria deleted. Everything she tried to hide. Marcus looked at the screen. Spreadsheets, email chains, transaction records. Why? Because Sarah Thompson gave me a chance when no one else would. Hired me straight out of community college, paid for my MBA, treated me like a person. James's voice cracked. And Victoria killed her. The word landed like a bomb. Killed. You can't know that for certain. Patricia's voice was sharp. I know Victoria approved a cash payment to someone called Technical Services LLC 2 weeks before Sarah's accident. $50,000. No contract. No invoice. No record of any work performed. Marcus's blood went cold. What kind of technical services? I don't know, but the company was dissolved the day after Sarah died. Diana appeared, Maya holding her hand. Marcus, we need to go. The reporters are coming. Marcus looked toward the ballroom entrance. Camera crews, microphones, shouting voices. Is there a back exit? Patricia nodded. Through the kitchen. I'll show you. They moved quickly, Maya clutching Marcus's hand, Diana clearing a path, James following with his phone full of evidence. The kitchen was chaos. Chefs scrambling, waiters rushing. No one paid attention to the small group slipping through. They emerged into an alley. Cold night air. A black SUV waiting. Robert Chen stood by the open door. Marcus's attorney since Sarah's death. Quiet. Methodical. Absolutely deadly in a courtroom. I saw the video. We need to talk. Marcus helped Maya into the car. Diana followed. James, get in. James hesitated. Sir, I'm just a former employee. I don't... You have evidence. You're coming with us. James climbed in. Patricia stood on the sidewalk, looking small, looking old. Marcus, I'm sorry for everything I didn't do. Marcus paused at the car door. Come to the board meeting tomorrow. Tell them what you told me. I will. And Patricia? Yes. Find out who else knew. Who else looked the other way. I want names. He got in the car. The door closed. The SUV pulled away. Left the Grand Meridian Hotel behind. Left the cameras and the chaos and the wreckage of Victoria Sterling's career. Maya fell asleep against Marcus's shoulder, the exhaustion of the night finally catching up. Robert spoke quietly. The FBI moved faster than I expected. Diana nodded. They were already building a case. Sarah's investigation gave them probable cause. Victoria's arrest tonight just accelerated the timeline. Marcus stared out the window, city lights blurring past. Tell me about Sarah's investigation. Robert and Diana exchanged glances. Marcus, you should rest. Tomorrow? Tell me now. Silence. The car hummed through empty streets. Diana spoke first. Sarah suspected Victoria for almost a year before she died. Small things at first. Expense reports that didn't match. Contracts with vendors who didn't seem to exist. She hired a private investigator. Robert picked up the thread. Former FBI agent, spent 6 months following the money. What did he find? Everything. Shell companies in Delaware, offshore accounts in the Caymans, a network of fake vendors billing Titan Technologies for services never rendered. Marcus felt sick. How much? At the time, around 15 million. But Victoria kept going after Sarah died. The total now is closer to 25. She stole $25 million from my wife's company. Yes. Marcus looked at his sleeping daughter. At Sarah's face reflected in her features. And you think she killed Sarah to cover it up? The question hung in the air. Robert answered carefully. We can't prove that. Not yet. But the FBI is investigating. Sarah's car was examined. There's evidence of tampering with the brake lines. Marcus's hands shook. She murdered my wife. We don't know. She murdered my wife. While I was home making dinner. While Maya was watching cartoons. Sarah was dying on a highway because that woman wanted to steal more money. Diana reached across, touched his arm. Marcus, listen to me. We're going to get justice. For Sarah. For you. For Maya. But you need to stay focused. Stay calm. Don't let the rage consume you. How am I supposed to stay calm? By remembering what matters. Maya needs her father. Not a man destroyed by revenge. Marcus looked at his daughter. At the peaceful face. The gentle breathing. Diana was right. She was always right. What happens tomorrow? Robert pulled out a tablet. Board meeting at 9 a.m. We present the evidence. Remove anyone connected to Victoria's schemes. Install temporary leadership. Who? That's up to you. You own 91%. You can appoint anyone you want. Marcus shook his head. I don't know anything about running a company. You don't have to. You hire people who do. You set the direction. You make the final calls. But the day-to-day operations can be handled by professionals. The car turned onto the highway, heading toward Westchester, toward home. Sarah always wanted me to be more involved. Marcus's voice was distant. Said I understood the business better than I thought. I never listened. I was happy in my workshop, building furniture, fixing things with my hands. Diana smiled softly. Sarah used to brag about your furniture. Said you could have made millions if you'd wanted to. I didn't want millions. I wanted her. Silence. The pain of that statement filling the car. James spoke hesitantly from the back seat. Mr. Thompson, I have something else. Marcus turned. What? Emails. Between Victoria and someone on the board. From the week before Sarah's accident. He held up his phone. Marcus took it. Read. We need to move faster. Sarah is getting too close. Can you handle it? Consider it handled. But I'll need additional resources. Whatever you need, just make sure she stops digging. Marcus's vision went red. Who sent these? Gerald Thompson, the board member Victoria assigned to oversee security. The man who'd approached Marcus in the ballroom, who'd claimed he didn't know anything. Robert, I want him arrested. We need to be careful. Present this to the FBI. Let them build the case properly. He helped kill my wife. And he'll pay for it. But not tonight. Tonight you go home. You hold your daughter. You try to sleep. The car pulled through the gates of the Thompson estate. Marcus barely recognized it. Sarah had handled everything. Decorations, landscaping, all the details that made a house a home. Now it just felt empty. Diana helped carry Maya inside. Tucked her into bed. The little girl didn't wake. Marcus stood in the doorway, watching his daughter sleep. She asked about Sarah last night. His voice was barely audible. Asked if Mommy could see us from heaven, if she was proud of us. Diana stood beside him. What did you tell her? That Mommy is always watching, always proud, always loving us. That's a good answer. Is it? Marcus turned, eyes red. Because right now, I don't feel loved. I feel abandoned. I feel like Sarah left me to deal with all of this alone. The company, Victoria, the investigation, raising Maya without her. Diana took his hand. Sarah didn't choose to leave Marcus. I know that. I know. His voice broke. But sometimes I'm so angry at her. For dying. For leaving me. And then I hate myself for feeling that way. That's grief. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't follow rules. It just is. Marcus wiped his eyes. I should be stronger. For Maya. For the company. For Sarah's memory. You are strong. Standing up to Victoria tonight. That took strength. I was terrified. That's what courage is. Being terrified and doing it anyway. Marcus looked at Maya one more time. Then pulled the door closed softly. They went downstairs. Robert had set up in the living room, laptop open, documents spread across the coffee table. I've been going through James's files. The evidence is overwhelming. Victoria had a system, a sophisticated network of false transactions. Marcus sat down heavily. How did no one notice? She was CFO before becoming CEO. She controlled the audits, controlled the reporting. Anyone who asked questions got reassigned or fired, like James. James sat in the corner, still nervous, still clutching his phone. There's something else. Robert pulled up a document. Sarah had a contingency plan, a sealed letter to be opened if anything happened to her. Marcus's heart stopped. What kind of letter? Robert handed him an envelope, yellowed, sealed, Sarah's handwriting on the front. For Marcus, if I'm not there to tell you myself. Marcus's hands trembled as he took it. He recognized the ink, the curve of the letters. Sarah always wrote in blue. I didn't know this existed. It was with her attorney, sealed instructions, only to be delivered if she died unexpectedly. Marcus stared at the envelope, at his wife's last words. Do you want us to leave? Diana asked. No, stay. He opened the envelope carefully. Like it might shatter. Inside 3 pages, handwritten, dated 6 weeks before Sarah died. My dearest Marcus, if you're reading this, something has happened. Something I hoped would never come. I need you to know the truth. All of it. Victoria Sterling is stealing from our company. I have proof. Documents, recordings, everything. But it's bigger than money. She has connections, people on the board, people I thought I could trust. I've been careful, covered my tracks. But if you're reading this, maybe not careful enough. The evidence is hidden. Where we first said I love you, you'll know what that means. Nobody else will. Take it to the FBI, not the police, the FBI. Ask for Agent Maria Rodriguez. She's been helping me quietly. Tell her I sent you. Tell her it's time. Protect Maya, protect our company. And Marcus, please know that I love you. More than words can say. More than this letter can hold. You and Maya are everything. Whatever happens, remember that. Don't let Victoria win. Don't let her steal what we built. And don't spend too long grieving. Live, laugh, love again if you find someone who makes you happy. I just want you to be happy. Forever yours. Sarah. Marcus's tears fell on the paper, blurring the ink. He didn't care. Diana read over his shoulder. Her face went pale. Where we first said I love you. Do you know what that means? Marcus nodded slowly. The bridge. Central Park. We were walking home from our third date. Started raining. We hid under the bridge. Talked for hours. Is there a hiding place there? A loose stone, in the wall. We used to leave notes for each other when we were first dating. Stupid romantic stuff. He almost smiled. Sarah said it was our secret mailbox. Robert stood. We need to go there. Now. It's 2 a.m. Evidence doesn't care about time. And if Victoria knows about the letter, she might know about the hiding spot. Marcus looked toward the stairs. Toward Maya's room. I can't leave her. Stay. Diana grabbed her jacket. Robert and I will go. Tell me exactly where the stone is. Marcus described it. The third arch from the left. Waist height. A stone with a small scratch shaped like a heart. Sarah had made the mark with her key. Diana and Robert left. James shifted in his chair. Mr. Thompson, is there anything I can do? Marcus shook his head. You've done enough. More than enough. I wanted Sarah to know she wasn't alone. That someone believed her. She knew. Marcus looked at the young man. She always talked about the bright kids she hired. The ones who'd change the world someday. You were one of them. James's eyes glistened. Thank you. Silence settled over the room. Marcus read Sarah's letter again, and again, memorizing every word, every curve of ink, every trace of the woman he loved. The grandfather clock chimed. 3 a.m., 4 a.m. His phone buzzed. Diana. We found it. A flash drive, hidden exactly where you said. Marcus exhaled. What's on it? Everything. Video recordings of Victoria authorizing transfers, audio of board members discussing the cover-up, financial records going back 5 years. Sarah was thorough. She was a warrior, Marcus. She built this case like she built her company, brick by brick. Undeniable. Marcus looked at the letter in his hands, at his wife's final gift. What do we do now? Now you sleep. For a few hours at least. Then we go to war. The call ended. Marcus climbed the stairs, checked on Maya, still sleeping, still peaceful, unaware of the storm surrounding her. He went to his bedroom, their bedroom, her side still untouched. He lay down, stared at the ceiling, listened to the silence. Tomorrow would bring chaos, board meetings, lawyers, FBI agents, more revelations, more pain. But tonight, he held Sarah's letter against his chest. And for the first time since she died, he felt her presence. Not gone, just waiting. The Thompson estate settled into darkness. Outside, the world continued. Videos spreading, news breaking, lives changing. Inside, a father slept, holding his wife's words, dreaming of justice. Marcus woke to Maya's hand on his face. Daddy, you're crying in your sleep again. He opened his eyes. Morning light. His daughter's worried face hovering above him. "I'm okay, sweetheart." "You were saying Mommy's name." Marcus sat up. Sarah's letter had fallen onto the pillow. He folded it carefully, tucked it into his shirt pocket, close to his heart. "What time is it?" "Diana said to wake you up. She said it's important." Marcus looked at the clock. 7:30 a.m. Board meeting in 90 minutes. He showered, dressed. The same blue suit from last night, the one Sarah bought him. It felt like armor now. Downstairs, Diana had transformed the dining room into a war room. Laptops, documents. Robert on the phone in the corner. James organizing files. Coffee's on the counter. Diana didn't look up from her screen. "We need to talk strategy." Marcus poured coffee. Black, bitter, necessary. "What did you find on the flash drive?" "Everything Sarah promised. And more." Diana turned the laptop toward him. Video recordings from her office. She had a hidden camera. The screen showed Victoria Sterling sitting across from Sarah. The timestamp read 3 weeks before the accident. "Play it." Sarah's voice filled the room. Strong, confident. The voice Marcus fell asleep to for 15 years. "Victoria, I know about the transfers, the shell companies, everything." Victoria's face on screen went pale. "Sarah, I can explain." "Can you explain $23 million? Can you explain forged contracts with companies that don't exist?" "It's not what you think." "Then tell me what it is." Silence on the recording. Victoria's hands twisting in her lap. "I made mistakes. Bad investments. I was trying to cover the losses before anyone noticed. By stealing from the company I built. I was going to pay it back." Sarah leaned forward on screen. "You're finished, Victoria. I'm calling the FBI Monday morning. You should probably get a lawyer." The recording ended. Marcus stared at the frozen frame. His wife's face. Determined. Fierce. Alive. "Monday morning." His voice cracked. "She died Saturday night." Diana nodded slowly. 2 days before she was going to turn Victoria in. "That's not coincidence." "No, it's not." Robert ended his call. Approached the table. "FBI is sending agents to the board meeting. They want to observe. Maybe make additional arrests, depending on what we uncover." "Who else is involved?" Diana pulled up another file. "Gerald Thompson for certain. The emails James found prove he knew about Victoria's scheme, possibly helped plan the cover-up after Sarah's death." "Anyone else?" "2 more board members, David Chen and William Foster. Both received suspicious payments from Victoria's shell companies." Marcus memorized the names. Chen, Foster, Thompson. "What about Sarah's accident?" Robert hesitated. "The FBI is reopening the investigation. They found evidence of brake line tampering, but nothing connecting it directly to Victoria yet. Yet. These things take time, Marcus. My wife is dead. Time is all I have." Maya appeared in the doorway, dressed for school, backpack over her shoulder. "Daddy, Diana said I'm staying home today." Marcus looked at Diana. "She should be in school. Normal routine." "There are reporters at the school, at the gates, everywhere. It's not safe." Marcus felt his jaw clench. Victoria had taken his privacy too. "Maya, come here." She walked over. He knelt down to her level. "Something important is happening today. At Mommy's company. I need to go take care of it." "Is it about that mean lady from last night?" "Yes." "Are you going to make sure she can't be mean anymore?" Marcus looked at his daughter, at the trust in her eyes. "Yes, sweetheart. That's exactly what I'm going to do." "Good." Maya hugged him tight. "Mommy would want you to." He held her close, breathed in the smell of her shampoo, the same one Sarah used. "Mrs. Patterson from next door is coming to stay with you. Diana's assistant will be here too. You'll be safe." "I know, Daddy. Go get the bad guys." Marcus laughed despite everything. "When did you get so brave? Mommy taught me." He kissed her forehead, stood up. looked at Diana. Let's go. The drive to Titan Technologies headquarters took 40 minutes. Robert briefed him the entire way. The board consists of 12 members. You've met Patricia Morrison. She's on our side. Gerald Thompson, David Chen, and William Foster are compromised. The other 7 are unknown. Unknown. We don't have evidence they were involved, but we can't be certain they weren't. Diana added from the front seat. The safest approach is to remove everyone connected to Victoria's appointment. Clean slate. Can I do that? You own 91%. You can do whatever you want. The car pulled into the underground parking garage. Security guards everywhere. More than usual. I called ahead. Robert opened the door. These men work for a private firm, not Titan Technologies. They answer only to you. Marcus stepped out, felt the weight of what was coming. Where's the boardroom? 47th floor, executive level. The elevator ride felt eternal. Diana ran through final preparations. FBI agents will be seated in the back, plain clothes. They'll identify themselves if arrests become necessary. What do I say? The truth. Show them the evidence. Let them understand what Victoria did, what some of them helped cover up. The elevator doors opened. The boardroom stretched before him. Glass walls, long table, 12 leather chairs, 8 already occupied. Faces turned, some nervous, some hostile, some genuinely confused. Gerald Thompson sat at the far end, smug smile on his face, like he'd already won. Marcus walked in, took the chair at the head of the table, Sarah's chair. Good morning. Murmurs around the room. Patricia Morrison spoke first. Mr. Thompson, on behalf of the board, I want to express our deepest apologies for what happened last night. Save it. Marcus's voice was flat. I'm not here for apologies. Gerald leaned back. Then why are you here to play CEO for a day? Some people work their whole lives to sit in that chair. Some people steal their way into it. Gerald's smile flickered. I don't know what you're implying. I'm not implying anything. Marcus looked around the table. I'm stating facts. Victoria Sterling stole $25 million from this company. She had help. Some of that help is sitting in this room. Chaos erupted. Voices overlapping. Denials. Accusations. Diana stood. Quiet. Please. The room settled. She connected her laptop to the display screen. What I'm about to show you is evidence collected by Sarah Thompson before her death and corroborated by internal documents recovered over the past 12 hours. The first slide appeared. Bank transfers, shell company registrations, Victoria's authorization codes on every document. $25 million moved through 14 different shell companies over a 3-year period, all controlled by Victoria Sterling. Gerald shifted in his seat. This is old news. Victoria is already in custody. She didn't act alone. Diana clicked to the next slide. Emails. Gerald's name highlighted. Gerald Thompson. These emails were sent from your personal account to Victoria Sterling in the weeks before Sarah Thompson's death. Gerald's face went white. Diana read aloud. We need to move faster. Sarah is getting too close. She looked at Gerald. Your words. That's taken out of context. What context makes this acceptable? Diana clicked again. Consider it handled. But I'll need additional resources. I was talking about a business problem. You were talking about Sarah Thompson, about stopping her investigation. Gerald stood. This is slander. I'll sue everyone in this room. Sit down, Mr. Thompson. A new voice. From the back of the room. 2 people stood. A man and a woman. Professional suits. Badges visible. FBI. Agent Rodriguez. Agent Williams. The woman stepped forward. Gerald Thompson, you're under arrest for conspiracy to commit fraud, obstruction of justice, and accessory to murder. Gerald's legs gave out. He collapsed back into his chair. Murder? I didn't murder anyone. Sarah Thompson's brake lines were tampered with. Payment records show a $50,000 transfer from a shell company you controlled to a mechanic with a criminal record, 2 weeks before her death. The room went silent. Marcus felt something break inside him. The last hope that Sarah's death was an accident. Gone. You killed my wife. Gerald looked at Marcus, eyes wild, desperate. It wasn't supposed to happen like that. Victoria said she just wanted to scare Sarah, slow her down. Nobody was supposed to get hurt. My wife is dead. I didn't know the mechanic would go that far. I swear to God I didn't know. Agent Rodriguez pulled out handcuffs. You can tell that to the prosecutor. Gerald was lifted from his chair, cuffed, read his rights. As he was led past Marcus, he stopped. I'm sorry, for what it's worth. I'm sorry. Marcus didn't respond. Couldn't respond. The rage was too big, too consuming. Gerald was taken away. Diana looked at the remaining board members. Is there anyone else who wants to confess? Now would be the time. Silence. David Chen stood slowly. 60 years old, Asian, nervous energy radiating off him. I received payments from Victoria. I didn't know where the money came from. I thought it was consulting fees. Agent Williams approached. Mr. Chen will need you to come with us for questioning. Am I under arrest? Not yet, but cooperation will be noted. Chen nodded, followed the agent out. William Foster didn't wait to be called. He stood hands raised. I want immunity. I'll tell you everything. Victoria approached me 2 years ago, said she needed allies on the board. I didn't ask questions. Because you didn't want to know the answers. Marcus spoke quietly. I was weak. I'm sorry. Stop saying sorry. Marcus stood, walked to the window, looked out at the city Sarah loved. Sorry doesn't bring her back. Sorry doesn't give Maya her mother. Sorry doesn't undo 3 years of theft and lies. He turned back to the room. Foster, you'll cooperate with the FBI, fully, then you'll resign. No severance, no reference. You disappear. Foster nodded rapidly. Anything, whatever you need. Agent Rodriguez took him away. 5 board members remained, plus Patricia Morrison, plus the 2 FBI agents still observing from the corner. Marcus returned to the head of the table. Patricia, who do I have left? She looked around. Margaret Liu, technology background, clean record. James Harrison, former federal prosecutor, also clean. And Elena Rodriguez, finance expert. Sarah recruited her personally. Marcus studied the 3 faces. 2 women, 1 man. Different ages, different backgrounds. Did any of you know about Victoria's scheme? Margaret spoke first. I suspected something was wrong. The numbers never quite added up, but I couldn't prove anything. Did you try? I asked questions, got reassigned to a different division. Victoria said I was being disruptive. Marcus looked at James Harrison. You were a prosecutor. You didn't see the signs. I joined the board 8 months ago, after Sarah's death. Victoria's cleanup was already complete. The records I saw were pristine. Too pristine. In hindsight, yes. But I trusted the auditors. Elena Rodriguez hadn't spoken. Marcus turned to her. You knew Sarah personally. What did she tell you about Victoria? Elena's eyes were red, had been crying before the meeting started. Sarah called me 3 days before she died, said she was building a case, asked if I would testify when the time came. What did you say? I said yes. Absolutely. Whatever she needed. Elena's voice cracked. She said she'd be in touch Monday. I never heard from her again. Marcus felt the weight of those words. Monday, the day Sarah was supposed to make everything right. The 3 of you will form a temporary oversight committee. You'll audit every transaction from the past 3 years, every contract, every payment. I want to know where every dollar went. Margaret nodded. We'll need access to Victoria's files. You'll have access to everything. Marcus looked at Diana. Make it happen. Consider it done. The remaining board members shifted uncomfortably. Marcus addressed them directly. I don't know if any of you were involved. I don't have evidence against you. But I want to be very clear. He walked slowly around the table. This company belongs to me. It belonged to my wife. We built it from nothing, Sarah and me, in our garage, with our savings, with our dreams. He stopped at the empty chair where Gerald had sat. Victoria Sterling treated it like her personal piggy bank. Gerald Thompson treated it like a game. They forgot something important. He looked at each face in turn. Titan Technologies isn't a company. It's Sarah's legacy. It's Maya's inheritance. It's the only thing I have left of my wife besides memories and an 8-year-old girl. His voice hardened. If anyone in this room is hiding something, come forward now, today, because I promise you if I find out later, there will be no mercy, no second chances, no deals. Silence. Then we're done. Patricia, handle the press release. Victoria Sterling has been terminated. Gerald Thompson has been arrested. The company is under new leadership. What about you? Patricia asked. The media will want to know who's running things. Marcus looked at Sarah's portrait on the wall. Young, smiling, the day Titan Technologies went public. Tell them Sarah Thompson's husband is protecting her legacy. That's all they need to know. He walked out of the boardroom. Diana followed. The elevator doors closed. Finally alone. You did good. Diana's voice was soft. I don't feel good. I feel empty. That's normal. Is it normal that I wanted to kill Gerald? When he said Victoria just wanted to scare her, I wanted to put my hands around his throat. Diana didn't answer. What kind of father does that make me? Human. It makes you human. The elevator reached the ground floor. Security surrounded them immediately. Mr. Thompson, there's a situation outside. What kind of situation? Reporters. Hundreds of them. Marcus looked through the glass doors. Cameras, microphones, shouting voices. I have to face them eventually. Diana stepped forward. Not today. Not until we control the narrative. Sarah would face them. Sarah isn't here. The words hit harder than Diana intended. She reached for his arm. Marcus, I'm sorry. I didn't mean... You're right. His voice was hollow. Sarah isn't here. Because Victoria killed her. Because Gerald paid someone to tamper with her brakes. Because I was home making dinner while my wife bled out on a highway. That's not your fault. Isn't it? He turned to her. Sarah asked me to come with her that night. To some charity event downtown. I said I was tired. Said Maya needed help with homework. Said I'd rather stay in. Marcus. If I'd been in that car with her, maybe I would have noticed something wrong. Maybe I could have done something. Maybe you'd both be dead, and Maya would be an orphan. Marcus stopped. Diana gripped his shoulders. Listen to me. You couldn't have saved Sarah. The brakes were designed to fail, whether you were there or not. The only thing your absence changed is that Maya still has a father. Marcus's eyes blurred. I miss her so much. I know. Every morning I wake up reaching for her side of the bed. Every night I cook dinner for 2 before I remember. Every time Maya laughs, I turn to share it with Sarah and she's not there. She's there. Diana's voice cracked. She's in Maya's laugh, in the company she built, in the evidence she left behind. Sarah Thompson didn't just disappear, she left pieces of herself everywhere. Marcus wiped his eyes. What do I do now? Go home. Be with Maya. Let the FBI handle Victoria and Gerald. Let the lawyers handle the company. You've done enough for today. The reporters will get a written statement. No cameras. No interviews. Not until you're ready. Marcus nodded slowly. Exhausted. Drained. Diana led him to a back exit. Another car waiting. Robert already inside. The FBI wants to meet with you tomorrow. Formal interview about Sarah's investigation. Will they catch everyone involved? They'll try. Robert paused. There may be others. People Victoria paid off. People we haven't identified yet. Find them. All of them. We will. The car pulled away from Titan Technologies. Marcus watched the building shrink in the rearview mirror. Sarah's building. Sarah's dream. Sarah's tomb. His phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. You should have stayed quiet. Now you'll lose more than a wife. Marcus's blood went cold. Diana. Look at this. She read the message. Her face hardened. Robert, call the security team. Now. I want eyes on Maya immediately. Robert was already dialing. Marcus grabbed Diana's arm. Who sent this? I don't know, but someone isn't happy about today. The car accelerated, racing toward home, toward Maya. Marcus tried calling the house. No answer. Tried Mrs. Patterson. No answer. Tried Diana's assistant. No answer. Faster. His voice was barely human. Drive faster. The car weaved through traffic. Horn blaring. Rules ignored. Marcus's heart pounded. His vision narrowed. Not Maya. Please God, not Maya. He'd already lost Sarah. He couldn't lose her too. The Thompson estate appeared ahead. Gates open. Security car parked at an angle. Marcus was out before the car stopped. Running, sprinting, screaming his daughter's name. The front door was open. Inside, silence. Maya! His voice echoed through empty rooms. Maya! Movement upstairs. Footsteps. Mrs. Patterson appeared at the top of the stairs. Confused. Alive. Mr. Thompson, what's wrong? Where's Maya? Where is she? She's in the backyard, playing with the dog. We didn't hear you pull up. Marcus's legs gave out. He grabbed the banister, slid down. Mr. Thompson, are you okay? Diana caught up, took in the scene, understood. False alarm. She helped Marcus to his feet. But we're increasing security. Today. Marcus pushed past her. Through the house, through the kitchen, out the back door. Maya was there, on the grass, throwing a ball for the neighbor's golden retriever. Daddy! She ran to him. He caught her, lifted her, held her so tight she squeaked. Daddy, you're squishing me. I know, sweetheart. I know. He didn't let go. Couldn't let go. The world had taken Sarah. It wouldn't take Maya. Not while he still breathed. Diana watched from the doorway. Phone to her ear. Already arranging security. The threatening text glowed on Marcus's phone screen. Someone was watching. Someone was waiting. And Marcus Thompson had just declared war on people who killed to keep their secrets. Marcus didn't sleep that night, or the night after. He sat in the living room with every light on, watching the security monitors Diana had installed. 6 guards patrolled the property. 2 stayed inside. Armed. Alert. Maya noticed the changes. Daddy? Why are there so many people here? They're friends, helping us stay safe. Safe from what? Marcus knelt down, looked into his daughter's eyes. Sarah's eyes. Remember the mean lady from the party? The one who went to jail. She had friends, bad friends, and some of them are angry at Daddy. Maya's face scrunched up. Because you told the truth. Yes, sweetheart, because I told the truth. Mommy always said telling the truth was important. It is, even when it's hard, even when people get mad. Maya hugged him. I'm not scared, Daddy. You'll protect me. Marcus held her tight, wished he felt as confident as she sounded. The FBI traced the threatening text to a burner phone, purchased with cash. No fingerprints, no leads. Professional job. Agent Rodriguez sat in Marcus's kitchen files spread across the table. Whoever sent this knows how to stay hidden. Victoria's still in custody. Maximum security. No phone access. No visitors except her lawyer. Then who sent it? Rodriguez leaned back. Victoria had a network: accountants, lawyers, fixers, people who helped her move money and cover tracks. We've identified most of them, but there are gaps. What kind of gaps? Her security consultant, a man named Victor Kane, former military, dishonorable discharge. We've been trying to locate him for 3 days. Marcus felt cold. He's the one who tampered with Sarah's car. We believe so. The $50,000 Gerald paid went to a shell company Kane controlled. He disappeared the day after Sarah's funeral. He's been hiding for 6 months. Kane has skills, connections, resources. If he doesn't want to be found, finding him takes time. Diana entered. Phone pressed to her ear, face grim. That was the prosecutor. Trial date is set. Victoria Sterling, Gerald Thompson, 6 weeks. 6 weeks. Marcus exhaled. Will you have Kane by then? Rodriguez stood. We're doing everything possible. In the meantime, keep your security tight. Don't go anywhere without protection. And if you receive any more messages, call me immediately. She left. Marcus looked at Diana. Tell me the truth. How much danger are we in? Diana sat down heavily. Kane is a ghost. He's worked for cartels, dictators, corporations with dirty secrets. If Victoria hired him to kill Sarah, he won't hesitate to come after you. Because I'm a witness. Because you're the reason everything collapsed. Without your appearance at the gala, Victoria would still be CEO. Gerald would still be free. Kane would still be invisible. So this is my fault. No. Diana's voice was firm. This is their fault. You just shined a light on it. The weeks passed slowly. Marcus spent every moment with Maya. Took her to school with armed guards. Picked her up with armed guards. Watched her play in the backyard while men with guns stood at the perimeter. She adapted faster than he expected. Daddy, can Mr. Johnson have dinner with us? He likes spaghetti too. Johnson was the lead security guard, former Secret Service, built like a tank. I'm sure Mr. Johnson would like that. Johnson actually smiled. First time Marcus had seen it. Thank you, Miss Maya. I'd be honored. Dinner became a ritual. Marcus, Maya, and whoever was on the night shift. The house felt less empty, less haunted, but the threat remained. 3 weeks before the trial, Robert Chen called. Victoria wants to make a deal. Marcus's grip tightened on the phone. What kind of deal? She'll plead guilty to the financial crimes, 20 years. In exchange, she gives up everyone in her network, including Kane. She knows where he is. She claims she can contact him, bring him in. Marcus looked at Maya's drawings on the refrigerator. Stick figures holding hands. Mommy in heaven with wings. What about Sarah? What about the murder? Silence on the line. Robert. The prosecution is considering reducing the murder charge, accessory instead of conspiracy. It would drop her sentence significantly. No. Marcus, if she can deliver Kane. No. He slammed his fist on the counter. My wife is dead. Victoria ordered it. Gerald paid for it. Kane did it. None of them gets a reduced sentence. None of them. Without Victoria's cooperation, we may never find Kane. Then we find him ourselves. That's not how the justice system works. The justice system let Victoria steal for 3 years. Let her become CEO after murdering the founder. The justice system failed my wife. Robert was quiet for a long moment. I'll tell the prosecutor no deal. Do that. Marcus ended the call. Stood in his kitchen, shaking with rage. Diana found him there an hour later. I heard about Victoria's offer. I said no. I know. Robert told me. You think I'm wrong. Diana sat at the kitchen table. I think you're grieving. I think you want justice. I think sometimes those two things don't fit together perfectly. What would you do if it was your wife? I'd probably do exactly what you're doing. Refuse any compromise. Demand maximum punishment for everyone involved. But Diana met his eyes. But I'd also think about Maya. About what happens if Kane is never caught. About spending the rest of your lives looking over your shoulder. Marcus sat down across from her. You think I should take the deal? I think you should consider all the options. Victoria getting 20 years instead of 30 doesn't change what she did. But Kane going free forever, that changes everything. I can't let her win. Even a little. I can't. Then we find another way. Diana pulled out her laptop. James Wright. The accountant Victoria fired. He's been going through her files for 3 weeks. Every transaction, every communication, every contact. Has he found anything on Kane? Not directly, but he found patterns. Payments to shell companies that correlate with Victoria's problems disappearing. Journalists who dropped investigations. Regulators who suddenly lost interest. A competitor's CEO who died in a suspicious accident. Marcus leaned forward. Sarah wasn't the first. We don't think so. Kane appears to be Victoria's cleaner. The person she calls when problems need to go away permanently. How many? At least 3 that we've identified, possibly more. Marcus felt sick. She's a serial killer. She's a sociopath who hired a serial killer. Technically different, practically the same. And the FBI doesn't know this. We're sharing everything with Rodriguez, but James found something the FBI missed. Diana turned the laptop toward him. An email chain. Kane uses anonymous accounts, routing through servers in 12 different countries. Impossible to trace directly, but he made one mistake. What mistake? He has a sister, lives in New Jersey. Every 6 months a payment goes to a nursing home where she's receiving care for early-onset Alzheimer's. The payments come from different sources each time, but the pattern is consistent. Marcus studied the screen. You found his weakness. Everyone has one. Kane's is family. If we stake out the nursing home eventually, he'll visit. Does Rodriguez know? Not yet. I wanted to talk to you first. Why? Diana closed the laptop. Because this isn't legal. Not exactly. The FBI needs warrants, probable cause, proper channels. If I share this with them, it could take weeks to set up surveillance. And if you don't share it, I have resources, private investigators, people who can watch the nursing home without official authorization. If Kane shows up, we follow him. Find where he's hiding. Then we call the FBI. Marcus understood what she was saying. You're asking if I want to do this the right way or the fast way. I'm asking what's more important. Process or results? He thought about Sarah, about Maya, about the text message still saved on his phone. Results, always results. Diana nodded. I'll make the calls. 2 weeks before the trial, Kane appeared. Diana's investigators photographed him entering the nursing home at 6 a.m. Visiting hours didn't start until 9. He'd bribed his way in. Male late 40s matches the physical description. Combat stance, constantly checking exits, definitely former military. The investigator's voice crackled through the phone. He stayed 20 minutes, left flowers, kissed his sister's forehead, then vanished. Did you follow him? Tried. He made our tail within 3 blocks, lost us in the warehouse district. Marcus punched the wall. Diana grabbed his arm. We know he's alive. We know he's in the area. That's more than we had yesterday. He knows we're watching. He'll disappear again. Maybe not. Diana pulled up another file. The nursing home bills are due next week. Someone has to pay them. He'll wire the money, like before. He can't. The home changed their payment policy. In-person only for out-of-network patients. New regulation after a fraud scandal. Marcus looked at her. You arranged that. I made a donation to the home's legal fund. They were happy to update their policies. Diana, that's... Effective. It's effective. The waiting was torture. Marcus sat through board meetings he barely understood, signed documents Robert put in front of him, pretended to care about quarterly reports while Kane stalked his nightmares. Maya noticed his distraction. "Daddy, you're not listening." "What?" "Sorry, sweetheart. I was thinking about the bad man." Marcus froze. "What bad man?" "The one Mr. Johnson talks about on his radio, the one everyone's looking for." Marcus knelt down. "You heard that? I'm not a baby daddy. I know someone scary is out there. That's why everyone has guns." He didn't know what to say. 8 years old and already learning the world was dangerous. The scary person hurt Mommy. Didn't he? Yes. And now he wants to hurt us. He might try, but he won't succeed. How do you know? Marcus thought about Sarah, about her courage, her strength. Because Mommy is watching over us, and she won't let anything happen to you. Maya considered this. Like a guardian angel. Exactly like that. Okay. She nodded seriously. Then I'm not scared. 3 days before Victoria's trial, Diana called at midnight. Kane is at the nursing home. Right now, we have him surrounded. Marcus was already putting on shoes. Did you call Rodriguez? She's on her way. FBI tactical team 15 minutes out. I want to be there. Marcus, that's not a good idea. I need to see him. I need to look at the man who killed my wife. Diana was silent. Then, Robert will drive you. Stay in the car. Do not approach. Marcus arrived as the FBI team was positioning. The nursing home was dark. One light on the 3rd floor, Kane's sister's room. He's been in there 40 minutes. Rodriguez approached Marcus's car. Longer than any previous visit. He knows something's wrong. Probably. But he hasn't tried to leave. Either he doesn't care or what? Rodriguez didn't answer. The tactical team breached at 1:47 a.m. Marcus watched from the car, heard the flashbangs, the shouting, the chaos, then silence. Rodriguez's radio crackled. She listened. Her face went pale. What happened? Marcus was out of the car. Did they get him? Mr. Thompson, you should stay back. What happened? Rodriguez took his arm, led him away from the building. Kane is dead. Self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was sitting with his sister when we breached. He put the gun under his chin and... Marcus didn't hear the rest. The world narrowed to a single point. Kane was dead. The man who killed Sarah was dead. No trial, no testimony, no chance to look into his eyes and ask why. Just gone. Marcus sat on the cold ground. Didn't feel Diana's hand on his shoulder. Didn't hear Robert's questions. He just sat there, empty. Victoria's trial began 3 days later. Without Kane to testify against her, the prosecution's murder case weakened. But not fatally. The financial evidence was overwhelming. The emails, the payments, the cover-up. Marcus sat in the front row every day. Maya stayed home with security. Too young for this. Too innocent. Victoria entered in prison orange, thinner than at the gala, older, defeated. She didn't look at Marcus, not once. The prosecution built their case methodically, witness after witness, document after document. 3 weeks of testimony establishing exactly how Victoria Sterling had looted Titan Technologies while the founder's husband grieved. Then the murder evidence. Gerald Thompson took the stand. Offered immunity in exchange for full cooperation. He told the jury everything. Victoria's orders, Kane's recruitment, the $50,000, the tampering, the fake accident. Did Victoria Sterling instruct you to arrange Sarah Thompson's death? Gerald's voice cracked. Yes. In her own words, what did she say? She said Sarah was going to destroy everything, that the only way to stop her was to make sure she never made it to the FBI meeting. And you understood that to mean killing her. I didn't want to understand it, but yes, I knew what she meant. Marcus listened to his wife's murder being discussed like a business transaction. Expense reports and logistics. He wanted to scream, to leap over the barrier and wrap his hands around Gerald's throat. He stayed still. For Maya. For Sarah. Victoria's defense was pathetic. Claims of ignorance. Suggestions that Gerald acted alone. Arguments that the financial crimes were mistakes, not theft. The jury didn't buy any of it. After 6 weeks of testimony, deliberations took 4 hours. Guilty on all counts. Wire fraud, money laundering, embezzlement, conspiracy to commit murder, accessory to murder. Victoria collapsed when the verdict was read, had to be carried out by guards. Marcus felt nothing. Sentencing came 2 weeks later. The judge, an older woman with gray hair and hard eyes, addressed Victoria directly. Ms. Sterling, you had every advantage. Education, opportunity, a career at the highest levels of corporate America. And you chose to steal from a company that trusted you. Worse, you chose to kill the woman who built that company. Victoria stood on shaking legs. Your Honor, I never intended. Save it. I've heard 3 weeks of your intentions. Your intentions were to enrich yourself at any cost, including human life. The judge looked at Marcus. Mr. Thompson, would you like to make a statement? Marcus stood, walked to the podium, faced the woman who had destroyed his family. 6 months ago, you threw money in my face, called me homeless, called me nothing, made me crawl on the floor in front of my daughter while you laughed. His voice was steady. You thought you knew who I was. A black man in a cheap suit, someone beneath you, someone who didn't matter. He looked directly at Victoria. But you were wrong about something else too. You thought killing Sarah would save you. Thought removing her would make the problems disappear. He stepped closer. Sarah Thompson was the strongest person I ever knew. She built an empire from nothing. She raised our daughter to be brave and kind. She loved me when I didn't deserve it. Tears fell. He didn't wipe them away. You took her from us, from Maya, from the thousands of employees who depended on her, from the world that needed her vision. His voice broke. But here's what you didn't understand. Sarah didn't just build a company. She built a case. Evidence hidden so carefully that even you couldn't destroy it. Even from the grave, she beat you. He turned to the judge. I don't want revenge. I want justice. And I want my daughter to know that her mother's killer didn't win. He sat down. The judge nodded slowly. Victoria Sterling, I sentence you to 45 years in federal prison. No possibility of parole for 30 years. Victoria screamed. Guards restrained her. Gerald Thompson, for your cooperation, I sentence you to 20 years. Parole possible after 15. Gerald sagged with relief, then shame. Court is adjourned. Marcus walked out of the courthouse into afternoon sunlight. Reporters surrounded him, cameras flashing, questions flying. Diana pushed through. Mr. Thompson won't be taking questions today. Just one statement. Marcus raised his hand. The crowd quieted. Today, justice was served. Not perfectly, not completely. The man who actually killed my wife is dead. He'll never face a jury. But the people who ordered and paid for Sarah's murder will spend the rest of their lives in prison. He looked into the cameras. To every family who's lost someone to corporate greed, to violence, to the belief that money makes you untouchable, I hope today gives you some peace. I hope it shows that no one is above the law. He paused. Sarah Thompson was my wife. She was Maya's mother. She was a brilliant businesswoman and a better human being. She deserved to grow old, to see her daughter graduate, to meet her grandchildren. His voice cracked. She didn't get that. None of us did. But her legacy lives on, in Titan Technologies, in the foundation we're creating in her name, in our daughter, who has her mother's eyes and her mother's courage. He stepped back. Thank you for your attention. Please respect our privacy as we begin to heal. Diana led him to the car. Robert was already inside. Where to? The driver asked. Marcus looked at the courthouse, at the reporters still shouting questions, at the chapter of his life that was finally mercifully closing. Home. Take me home to my daughter. The car pulled away. Marcus watched the city pass. The buildings Sarah had admired. The streets they'd walked together. The life they'd built. He pulled out his phone, called the house. Thompson residence. Johnson's voice. Is Maya there? Yes, sir. You want to speak with her? Please. Shuffling. Then Daddy. Hey, sweetheart. It's over. The trial is over. Did the bad lady get in trouble? Yes, baby. She's going to prison for a very long time. Silence. Then, Mommy would be happy. Marcus smiled through tears. Yes, she would. When are you coming home? Soon, very soon. Can we have pizza for dinner? Marcus laughed. First real laugh in months. We can have whatever you want. Pizza, with extra cheese and breadsticks. Done. I love you, Daddy. I love you too, sweetheart, more than anything in the world. He ended the call, leaned back in the seat. Diana watched him carefully. How do you feel? Empty, relieved, sad, hopeful. He shook his head. All at once. That's grief. It doesn't follow rules. You said that once before. It's still true. The car drove toward Westchester, toward home, toward Maya. Behind them, Victoria Sterling was being processed into federal custody. Gerald Thompson was being transferred to minimum security. Kane's body was being cremated, his ashes scattered without ceremony. The villains were defeated. The hero had won. But Marcus didn't feel like a hero. He felt like a father who missed his wife. A man who'd give anything for one more dinner, one more conversation, one more chance to say I love you. The car turned onto his street. Maya was waiting at the window, waving. Marcus waved back. Sarah was gone, but her love remained. In their daughter, in their home. In every memory that Marcus would carry for the rest of his life. The car stopped. Marcus got out. Maya ran into his arms. And for the first time since the gala, since the humiliation, since everything fell apart and came back together, Marcus Thompson felt something like peace. 1 year passed. Marcus stood in his office at Titan Technologies, looking out at the Manhattan skyline. Sarah's office, now his. He'd resisted using it for months. Felt wrong sitting in her chair, looking through her window. Diana had finally convinced him. Sarah didn't build this company so the office could become a shrine. She built it so it could change the world. Start doing that. So he had. The phone on his desk buzzed. Mr. Thompson, the foundation board is ready for you. Thank you, Janet. I'll be right down. He grabbed his jacket, the same blue suit. He'd bought others nicer ones, but this one still felt right. Sarah had picked it out, said it made him look distinguished. The conference room was full. 20 people around a long table. Former employees, community leaders, child advocates. The board of the Sarah Thompson Foundation. Thank you all for coming. Marcus took his seat at the head of the table. Let's start with the numbers. James Wright, now the Foundation's CFO, pulled up a presentation. In our first year, we've assisted over 3,000 single-parent families. Legal aid, financial counseling, emergency housing, job training. How many children? Directly about 5,000. Indirectly through family stability programs, probably 3 times that. Marcus nodded. And the scholarship fund. Elena Rodriguez spoke up. She'd left the Titan board to run the foundation full-time. 412 college scholarships awarded. Full tuition plus living expenses. We're tracking graduation rates. So far, 93% retention. Sarah would have loved that number. She would have demanded 95. Elena smiled. So that's our goal for next year. The meeting continued for 2 hours. Budget allocations, program expansions, partnership proposals, the mundane machinery of doing good. After everyone left, Diana stayed behind. You look tired. I am tired. Marcus rubbed his eyes. But it's a different kind of tired. Better. Maya's school play is tonight. Don't forget. I never forget Maya. I know, just reminding you. Marcus looked at the framed photo on the conference room wall. Sarah at the foundation's groundbreaking ceremony. The photo was taken 2 years before she died. She was laughing at something Marcus had said. Do you think she'd be proud? Diana followed his gaze. I think she'd be furious you're not doing more. Marcus laughed. Probably true. But also proud. Incredibly proud. The school auditorium was packed. Parents crowded into small seats designed for children. Marcus found a spot in the 3rd row. Diana sat beside him. Robert on the other side. This is the first play I've been to since Sarah died. Marcus kept his voice low. She never missed one. I always had excuses. You're here now. Diana squeezed his hand. That's what matters. The lights dimmed. The curtain rose. Maya appeared center stage. 9 years old now, taller, more confident, wearing a costume Sarah had started making before she died. Diana had finished it. Once upon a time, Maya's voice carried through the auditorium. There was a girl who lost her mother. Marcus's breath caught. The girl was very sad. She cried every night. She missed her mother's voice, her mother's laugh, her mother's hugs. The other children moved around her, playing trees, stars, the wind. But then the girl learned something important. Her mother wasn't really gone. She lived in the girl's heart, in her memories, in the love that never disappeared. Marcus's eyes blurred, and whenever the girl felt alone, she would close her eyes and remember. Remember the stories, the songs, the way her mother always said goodnight. Maya looked directly at Marcus, just for a moment. And the girl knew that love doesn't die. It just changes, like caterpillars becoming butterflies, like rain becoming rivers, like goodbye becoming, see you later. The play continued. Other children had lines. Other scenes unfolded. But Marcus barely noticed. His daughter had written her own part, added it without telling him. When it ended, the applause was thunderous. Parents crying, teachers wiping their eyes. Maya found Marcus in the crowd. Did you like it, Daddy? He lifted her up, held her tight. It was perfect, sweetheart. Absolutely perfect. I wrote that part myself. Mrs. Henderson helped with the words. When did you do that? After the trial. I wanted to say something. About Mommy. About us. Marcus set her down, knelt to her level. You're the bravest person I know. Maya shook her head. No, Daddy. You are. You went to all those scary meetings. Talked to all those scary people. Made sure the bad guys went to jail. I had help. Everyone needs help sometimes. Mommy used to say that. Diana appeared. Who wants ice cream? Me. Maya grabbed her hand. Can we go to the place with the sprinkles? Any place you want. Marcus watched them walk ahead, his daughter and the woman who'd held them together through the worst year of their lives. Robert fell into step beside him. The foundation is doing good work, Marcus. It's not enough. It's never enough. That's the point. You keep doing more, keep pushing, keep honoring her memory. Sometimes I forget what her voice sounded like. Marcus's words came out choked. I play old videos just to remember. That's normal. Is it because it feels like betrayal? Like I'm letting her fade away? Robert stopped walking, turned to face Marcus directly. Sarah Thompson was my client for 15 years. I knew her longer than you did, and I can tell you this with absolute certainty. What? She would want you to live, Not just exist, not just survive. Actually live. Fall in love again. Laugh without guilt. Build something new without feeling like you're erasing her. I don't know if I can do that. You already are. The foundation, the company, the way you show up for Maya. That's living, Marcus. Sarah would be proud. They caught up with Diana and Maya at the ice cream shop. Marcus ordered Sarah's favorite, mint chocolate chip. 2 scoops. That was Mommy's favorite. Maya noticed immediately. I know. Can I have some? Of course. They sat at a small table. 4 people who'd become a family through tragedy, eating ice cream and talking about nothing important. This is what healing looks like, Marcus thought. Small moments. Ordinary moments. The kind Sarah would have loved. 6 months later, Titan Technologies held its annual gala. Same hotel, same ballroom, different energy. Marcus stood at the entrance greeting guests, Diana beside him. Maya running around with other children whose parents worked at the company. You look nervous. Diana adjusted his tie. Last time I was here, Victoria threw money in my face. And now you're the host, the owner, the man who cleaned house and rebuilt everything. Doesn't feel real. It's real. Look around. Marcus did. Saw faces he recognized. Employees who'd stayed through the chaos. Board members who'd proven their loyalty. Partners who'd believed in the company's future. Mr. Thompson. A young woman approached. Early 20s, black, professional suit, nervous energy. Yes? I'm Jasmine Williams. The foundation gave me a scholarship 3 years ago, before Mrs. Thompson died. She wrote me a personal letter. Marcus's heart clenched. She did. She said she believed in me. That education would change my life. She was right. Jasmine's eyes glistened. I graduated last spring, top of my class. Now I work in your legal department. You work for Titan. Robert Chen hired me. He said you'd want to know. Marcus looked for Robert, found him across the room, smiling. The old man had kept this secret for months. Jasmine, would you like to give a speech tonight about the foundation, about what it meant to you? Me, I'm nobody. You're exactly the kind of somebody Sarah wanted to help. Please. It would mean everything. Jasmine nodded slowly. Okay, yes, I'll do it. The gala proceeded. Dinner, dancing, speeches from board members, revenue reports that showed recovery and growth. Then Jasmine took the stage. 5 years ago, I was homeless. Her voice trembled but held. My mother died when I was 16. My father was already gone. I lived in my car. Worked 2 jobs, tried to finish high school. The room went silent. Then I got a letter from Sarah Thompson, a woman I'd never met. She said her foundation had reviewed my application, that they wanted to pay for my college education. All of it. Jasmine looked at Marcus. I thought it was a scam. Who gives strangers $100,000? But I called the number anyway, and a real person answered, and a real check arrived, and a real future opened up. She wiped her eyes. Sarah Thompson saved my life. I never got to thank her. She died before I could. But I can thank the man who kept her dream alive. Jasmine turned to face Marcus directly. Mr. Thompson, you didn't have to continue the foundation. You didn't have to stay involved with the company. You could have taken your money and disappeared. Instead, you showed up. Every day. For people like me. The room applauded. Marcus felt Diana's hand on his arm. So thank you. From me. From the 3,000 families the foundation helped last year. From everyone who's ever been told they're nothing and been proven wrong. Jasmine stepped back from the microphone. The applause grew louder. Marcus stood, walked to the stage, hugged the young woman who'd somehow become the symbol of everything he and Sarah had worked for. Thank you, he whispered. You have no idea what this means. I think I do. Jasmine smiled. I think I do. After the gala, Marcus found himself alone on the hotel terrace. Same view as the night Victoria humiliated him. Different man looking at it. Diana appeared with 2 glasses of champagne. You're brooding. I'm reflecting. There's a difference. Not much of one. She handed him a glass. To Sarah. To Sarah. They drank in silence. Marcus, there's something I need to tell you. His stomach tightened. Good news or bad? Depends on your perspective. Diana set down her glass. I've been offered a partnership at Wells & Chen. Full equity. Corner office. Everything I've worked for. That's wonderful. It means I can't be your personal attorney anymore. Conflict of interest with the firm's other clients. Marcus nodded, tried to ignore the hollow feeling in his chest. I understand. You've given us a year of your life, more than anyone could ask. There's something else. What? Diana turned to face him. The real reason I'm taking the partnership is because I need distance. From you. From this situation. Did I do something wrong? No. She laughed softly. You did everything right. That's the problem. Marcus didn't understand. Then he did. Diana. I know. It's inappropriate. You're grieving. I was Sarah's best friend. There are 100 reasons this is a terrible idea. But I've spent the last year watching you become someone extraordinary, watching you fight for justice, watching you raise Maya with so much love, watching you build something beautiful from something broken. She met his eyes. And somewhere along the way, I stopped seeing my best friend's husband. I started seeing you. Just you. Marcus was silent. His heart pounded. I'm not asking for anything. Diana stepped back. I just needed you to know why I'm leaving. Why I need space. Why. Have dinner with me. Diana froze. What? Not tonight. Not this week, but soon. When you're ready. When I'm ready. Have dinner with me. Marcus, I don't want to replace Sarah. You couldn't. No one could. But Sarah told me something in her letter. The one she left hidden. What? She told me to live. To love again if I found someone who made me happy. To not spend too long grieving. Marcus stepped closer. I've spent 18 months grieving. I'll probably grieve for the rest of my life. But Sarah was right. Life goes on. Maya needs to see that. I need to believe it. Are you sure? No. I'm not sure about anything anymore. But I know Diana Wells is the best person I've met since my wife died. And I know Sarah loved you like a sister. And I know Maya already thinks of you as family. Diana's eyes filled with tears. So have dinner with me. One dinner. See what happens. She nodded. Once. Barely visible. One dinner. One dinner. They stood on the terrace, the city glittering below, the future uncertain but somehow hopeful. Maya burst through the door. Daddy, the chocolate fountain is amazing. You have to come see. Marcus looked at Diana. She was laughing through tears. Go. She pushed him gently. Your daughter needs you. Our daughter. The words came out before he could stop them. If you want. Someday. Diana's breath caught. Someday. Marcus let Maya drag him back inside, back to the party, back to life. Behind him, Diana stood alone on the terrace, looking at the stars, wondering what Sarah would think, knowing somehow that she would approve. 2 years later, Marcus stood at the altar. Different church than his first wedding. Same feelings. Different woman. Same love. Maya walked down the aisle first, flower girl at 11, growing up too fast. Then Diana appeared. White dress. Simple. Elegant. Sarah's pearl earrings, a gift from Marcus the night he proposed. You honor her by wearing those. I honor her every day. Those earrings just make it visible. The ceremony was small. Close friends, family, foundation staff, the people who'd become their world. Robert gave Diana away. Patricia Morrison officiated. James Wright cried through the whole thing. When Marcus said, "I do," he felt something shift. The last piece of a puzzle falling into place. Not replacing Sarah. Never replacing her. But building something new alongside her memory. The reception was at the Thompson estate. The house that had felt so empty now overflowed with laughter and love. Maya found Marcus alone in the kitchen, getting more champagne. "Are you happy, Daddy?" He looked at his daughter. Sarah's eyes. Diana's smile now, too. "Yes, sweetheart. I'm happy. I'm glad." Maya hugged him. "Mommy would be happy, too." "How do you know?" "Because Diana loves us, and Mommy always wanted us to be loved." Marcus held his daughter tight, marveled at the wisdom children carry without knowing it. "When did you get so smart?" "I've always been smart. You just didn't notice." He laughed, the same laugh Sarah used to love. Diana appeared in the doorway. "Everything okay in here?" "Everything's perfect." Marcus extended his hand. "Come here." She joined them. 3 people holding each other in a kitchen full of champagne. A family forged from tragedy and rebuilt with love. "Thank you." Marcus's voice was barely audible. "For what?" "For staying. When you could have left. For loving us. When it would have been easier to walk away." Walking away was never an option. Diana kissed his cheek. "You were stuck with me from the moment Victoria threw that money in your face. You were there. Back of the lobby, watching, too frozen to move, until I wasn't." Marcus remembered. 2 people stepping forward, Diana and Robert. "You changed everything." "We just did what was right. You did the rest." The party continued into the night. Dancing, toasts, stories about Sarah that made everyone laugh and cry. At midnight, Marcus stepped outside, found the quiet spot by the garden, Sarah's garden, still blooming. He pulled out his phone, opened the camera. "Hi, it's me, Marcus." He spoke to the empty air, to Sarah, to whoever might be listening. "It's been 3 years since you died. 3 years since everything fell apart. 3 years since I learned what you were protecting us from." He paused. "Victoria is still in prison. Gerald too. Kane is dead. The company is thriving. The foundation has helped almost 10,000 families now." The stars were bright overhead. "Maya is 11. She's brilliant and brave and everything you hoped she'd be. She talks about you every day, keeps your photo by her bed." His voice cracked. "I got married again. Diana. You're Diana. I hope that's okay. I think you'd want us to be happy. I think you'd want Maya to have a mother again." Tears fell. He didn't wipe them away. "I miss you. Every single day. That never stops. But the pain has changed. It's softer now, more like a reminder than a wound." He looked up at the sky. "Thank you for loving me, for giving me Maya, for leaving behind everything I needed to fight for us." He touched the phone to his heart. "I'll see you again someday. Until then, I'll keep building, keep protecting, keep loving the people you loved." "Daddy." Maya's voice, behind him. He turned. She stood in the moonlight, wedding dress still on from her flower girl duties. "What are you doing out here?" "Talking to Mommy." Maya walked over, took his hand. "Can I talk to her too?" "Of course, sweetheart." Maya looked up at the stars. "Hi, Mommy. It's Maya. I'm 11 now. I got taller like you said I would." Marcus listened. Heartbreaking and healing at the same time. "Daddy married Diana today." "Diana. She's really nice. She does your voice when she reads me stories. She makes pancakes on Sunday like you did." Maya squeezed Marcus's hand. "I know you're watching us. I can feel it sometimes. When I'm sad. When I'm happy. When I miss you so much, it hurts." Her voice stayed steady, stronger than any 11-year-old should be. "I'm going to be okay, Mommy. We're all going to be okay. Because you taught us how to love. And love doesn't die. It just changes. The words from her play. 2 years ago. Still true. I love you, Mommy. Forever and always. Like you used to say. Silence. The night holding its breath. Then Diana's voice from the doorway. You two okay? Maya ran to her, hugged her tight. We were talking to Mommy. I know, sweetheart. I heard. Diana looked at Marcus, eyes wet, full of understanding. She's proud of you both. I'm certain of it. Marcus walked over, put his arms around both of them. Let's go inside. It's cold. In a minute. Maya pointed up. Look. A shooting star streaked across the sky. Bright. Beautiful. Gone. Mommy says hi. Maya smiled. Marcus laughed. Couldn't help it. Yes, she does. They walked inside together. The man who'd been humiliated and found justice. The woman who'd helped him survive. The child who'd taught them both how to heal. Behind them, the stars continued their eternal dance. Somewhere, somehow, Sarah Thompson watched her family move forward. Not forgotten. Never forgotten. Just loved from a different distance. 5 years after the gala, Marcus Thompson stood at a podium. Different hotel. Different city. 10,000 people in the audience. My name is Marcus Thompson. 15 years ago, I was a furniture maker. A husband. A father. A man who wanted nothing more than a quiet life with the woman I loved. He paused. Then my wife was murdered. By people who thought money made them untouchable. By a system that let them steal and lie and kill without consequence. The audience was silent. I could have disappeared, taken my billions, and hidden from the world. Instead, I chose to fight. To honor Sarah's memory. To build something that would help people like us. Like me. Like anyone who's ever been told they're nothing. He looked at the front row. Diana holding Maya's hand. Maya at 16 now. Beautiful. Fierce. Her mother's daughter. The Sarah Thompson Foundation has helped 50,000 families, put 12,000 students through college, provided legal aid to 20,000 people who couldn't afford lawyers. Applause rippled through the crowd. But numbers don't tell the whole story. The story is in the mother who got custody of her children because we paid for her lawyer. The story is in the father who started his own business because we believed in him when no one else did. The story is in every person who was told they were nothing and proved the world wrong. Marcus gripped the podium. I was told I was nothing, in front of 500 people, by a woman who threw money in my face and told me to crawl. He smiled, just slightly. She's in year 8 of a 45-year sentence. I'm standing here talking to 10,000 people about building a better world. The audience laughed, applauded. So here's what I want you to remember. When someone tells you you're nothing, they're wrong. When someone judges you by your clothes, your skin, your accent, your background, they're wrong. When someone tries to make you feel small so they can feel big, they're wrong. His voice rose. You are not your circumstances. You are not your mistakes. You are not what others say about you. You are what you choose to become. Every single day. Every single decision. He looked at Maya. My daughter taught me that, at 9 years old, standing in a ballroom watching her father be humiliated. She said, Mommy would want you to stand up, so I did. Stand up, whatever you're facing. Whoever's trying to stop you, stand up. He stepped back from the podium. Thank you. The ovation lasted 5 minutes. People crying, cheering, believing. Backstage, Maya hugged him. That was amazing, Daddy. I had good material. Diana kissed his cheek. Sarah is smiling somewhere. I hope so. His phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Marcus's heart stopped. Old fears rising. He opened it. Mr. Thompson, my name is Marcus Williams. I'm 12 years old. Your foundation helped my mom after my dad died. I just wanted to say thank you. You're my hero." Below the text, a photo. A young black boy holding a certificate. Academic Achievement Award. Marcus showed Diana. "This is why." His voice cracked. "This is why we do everything." She held his hand. "This is why Sarah built what she built. Why you fight every day. Why none of it was ever about revenge. It was about legacy. It was about love." Maya looked at the photo, at the boy who shared her father's name. "Can we help him more? Like personally?" Marcus smiled at his daughter. Sarah's heart. Diana's guidance. His determination. "Yes, sweetheart. We can help him more." They walked out of the convention center, into the sunlight, into a world that was slightly better because they existed. Marcus Thompson had been humiliated, broken, destroyed. He had risen, rebuilt, transformed. Not because he was special, not because he was rich, not because he was stronger than anyone else. Because he chose to stand up. Because love doesn't die. Because everyone matters. And because the man they called nothing proved to be everything.